Hey guys, SoonerSun2 here, and I am back in the command center in good old Norman. It's great to be back. Alright, now in my last video I didn't get a whole lot of chance to talk about the OU Texas game because, well, frankly that's not what my last video was about. My last video was about manning up to the wager I've made and giving UT their props because they deserved it. You know, I'm not going to deny a team their victory. So yeah, I sang the Texas songs and it sucked and I felt like vomiting at the end, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Let the record show that I will eat my crow when I have to. And Duke and J-Way, I'm glad we were at least united in our crow. But now, it's a new week, it's done, it's over, we're moving on. But first, let's talk OU Texas. Okay, now any loss to a rival team is a really tough loss, but still I am proud of my Sooners. Unlike USC, unlike countless #1 teams before us, we did not let this #1 ranking get to our heads. Our first week of #1, we went down to Baylor and dominated. And in this game, look, a 10-point spread is nothing to sneeze at, but this was not domination by any means. No, this game was an all-out war. We fought and put up a scrap to the very end. But we just let up too much in the fourth quarter, and UT wanted it more in the end. That's what happened. We did not let this ranking get to our heads. We came to play every time, and I am so proud of my Sooners. I will always be proud of my Sooners. At the end of the game, my seat was right next to the tunnel, and as the Sooners were walking off, I stood up and cheered for my Oklahoma Sooners. I will always have pride in my team. Always. All right. Still, there were things about this game that need be addressed. Now I'm going to harp on my team. Alright, there were deficiencies in our game this week that we've been seeing all season. I mean, Sooner fans, we got to admit it, we saw the writing on the wall weeks before this game. Cincinnati returns for a long kickoff. TCU goes for a long run after the kickoff. Texas runs all the way into the end zone after a kickoff. Something is very, very wrong here. You got to admit it. Seriously, the kickoff returns and the punt returns are the scariest part of our game, in my opinion. We have got to shape up. There's no excuse for that. Alright, but our passing game was phenomenal. Sam Bradford had a great game. Count on 5 touchdown passes. No one can deny that Sam did not come out and play. No one can deny that he is a great quarterback and deserves to be on the Heisman list. He did great. He did really great, and I felt bad for him because that guy was playing his heart out all the time. But a quarterback is not the team. And there were so many other things that we need to fix. Our O-line, for the most part, was good. In the beginning of the first half, and even in the third quarter, Bradford had all day to throw those passes. That's a tribute to the O-line. But the O-line led up in the fourth quarter along with everything else, and Bradford got sacked several times. You cannot let up against a team like Texas because they will find holes, they will go through and they will take out the quarterback because that's what they gotta do, that's what any team has to do. And our running game, I'm gonna be honest, it's not all that good right now. It really isn't that good. Passing game was great. Sam Bradford, Manny Johnson, Ryan Broyles, Jermaine Gresham, Joaquin Iglesias all had a great game. Ryan Broyles, just a freshman, he is really impressing me. When that ball ricocheted off of Gresham and Broyles picked it up in the touchdown, great awareness, Broyles, great job. You keep impressing me every time you play. You keep doing what you're doing, you're going to be an OU superstar in no time. But our running game, DeMarco Murray, Chris Brown, I'm not going to harp on them too much. They're playing their hearts out there, but we have got to run a smarter running game. We cannot just plow into defenders like they have in Texas because we're not going to get through. That defense is solid. There were several times when I thought it would have been totally better if we just run around, but we kept running right into the dog pile. It's not going to get anywhere. I mean, at least our passing game worked in the end, but that can only work so much. It can only work so much until the other team catches on and learns how to block. But yeah. Those are all the things we need to work on. And I'm not even going to get into the officiating or anything because I'm not making excuses. I am not making excuses in that area because there were BS plays made by both teams. I'm not even going to get into it because nothing productive can come from arguing about this. We got to move on. All right. And I was really pleasantly surprised by the number of positive comments on my Crow video. All the Longhorns fans, they realized how hard that was for me, and I thank you guys for being understanding. Most of you, for the most part. There are a couple ones that are just a disgrace to the Longhorns fan base, but for the most part, you guys are really good. I appreciate it. In the end, this rivalry boils down to respect. I mean, that's what I did. At the end of the day, I was one of the brave few Sooners who stayed at the State Fair because, dangnabbit, I wanted a corn dog. So, I just sat down with UT fans, ate our corn dogs, and we just talked about the game. We realized that we are both great teams, and this rivalry, you know, this isn't a stretch, what I'm about to say. I'm going to say that this is the best rivalry in college football. I don't care about any other rivalry. This rivalry, right here, OU Texas. Huge, big, the best. Because at the end of the day, all we have is respect for each other. Alright, now that's all for OU Texas. I gotta move on to my next video real quick because there's a lot of things that are happening and I gotta keep talking. Boomer Sooner, Sooner Sun 2 out. Let's move on.